Hi, this is Zendra, and I'm going to take my headphones out. Sorry, I was listening to my iPod, and basically what I'm going to talk about is what I said in my earlier video. I had a friend who had a question for me, and I told him that I would think about it and answer it on YouTube. So, if you're watching this, hi! But his question was, what is the difference between goth and emo? Now, there's a lot of videos going around YouTube about what the difference between goth and emo is. And I by no means am an expert on either of the cultures. I believe they're both subcultures in their own right. Many people will disagree with me, so I'm warning you now that I have my own opinion on the subject, and if you post me in comments, I'm just going to delete them or ignore them. I'm not really familiar with YouTube, whatever, but that's what's going to happen. So, don't be mean. But basically, we're going to start with what each of the cultures are. We'll start with emo first. Because I know, I'm not really an expert. I've never been emo. I actually talked to a lot of my emo friends to figure out what emo is. Contrary to common belief, emo is not about cutting. And it's not about feeling sad all the time. According to my emo friends, emo is actually about feeling your emotions to their highest possible level. Emo is about when you're happy, you're super hyper happy. And when you're sad, which we see a lot of them because of the way they feel their emotions, sadness hits them the hardest. Doesn't it hit us all that way? So when they get sad, they get depressed. And they want to just lie there and talk about how much they want to die. And when they're angry, they get freaking pissed. So, and when they're, when they're jealous, they're super jealous. They feel their emotions to the point where they feel it to the highest amount they can feel it. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's also why I think most emos are teenagers. Please ignore that. That's my dog. He's barking at cats. But, excuse me for a moment. Lucky! Come here, boy. Yes. Lucky! That's Lucky. He's a good boy. And that's Doodoo. She's a good girl. But let me readjust my camera now. Alright. I'm back to the topic. So that's why I believe a lot of teenagers are emos, because teenagers tend to feel their emotions more than adults, because adults eventually learn that they can't be emotional all the time. But basically, that's what I think what emo is. According to most of my friends, that's kind of what I've gotten so far, and like meeting my friends and knowing my friends and knowing emos that I've gotten to know, that's kind of how it is with them. So that's kind of what I see with the emo thing. Now on to goth. Disclaimer: I am by no means an expert on either of these subjects. I still consider myself a baby bat, so I may not know a lot about the subculture. So if someone knows something and they want to comment on it, and any information I leave out and you want to comment on it for people to read, then feel free. But no mean comments about what I believe goth is being wrong. This is what I see goth as. But if I get any of the history wrong, feel free to comment with the fact saying I got it wrong, and I will try and correct it in a future video. But on to my subject. What I think goth is. I think goth is about finding beauty in darkness. Things like, a lot of goths like Edgar Allan Poe, and I really don't like the word goth, so I'm just going to say darkling. But just so you know, goth means I'm going to refer to it as darkling throughout the rest of this video, and try to refer to it from now on. Goth is just more of a word that everybody understands, so just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, that sort of thing. I will say that I really don't like the word, so I'm gonna try not to use it. But darklings tend to love beauty in dark, find beauty in dark things. They love the morbid things because they see it as beautiful. They see most people, when they see, like, say, a bat or a rotting corpse, they don't see how beautiful something like that can be. How a rotting corpse is like a symbol of how little time we have on this world, or how a bat is just a gorgeous thing, the way it moves its wings and soars through the night. Darklings and those involved in the Gothic subculture or the Schwarz scene, whatever you want to call it, they tend to find the beauty in these things. And that's what I think Goth is about. It's about finding the dark things and just being yourself and letting loose and finding all those little things in life that are different and people don't necessarily like, and loving it and finding it beautiful. You can do that with yourself as well. Like when people get piercings on their face. I don't personally like that, but if they like it and they feel like it's letting the self they have inside out, then they should just go ahead and do that. But let's recap. Emo is about feeling all your emotions to the highest level you can. Goth is about loving everything that people don't necessarily think as beautiful. Finding beauty in the darkness, finding beauty in things that most people think are ugly or morbid or something to shy away from. So, my friend over there, I don't know if you have a YouTube account, but I know you go on YouTube, so I hope you enjoy this, and I hope I answered your question. And if anybody else has any other questions, you can feel free to comment. And I guess I'm finished, but I will post another video soon, I swear. Just feel free to comment. Whoa. Just comment down there. You know where it is. Love you all.